Michael Carrick and Manchester United need to shake off a loss to Newcastle and get back to winning ways this weekend because on Sunday we host, quite frankly, who are a struggling Aston Villa side. Villa may be fourth, right, but they're not great at the moment. But fair play, United as well just haven't been super convincing on the pitch in recent weeks, despite, yes, going 7 games unbeaten under Michael Carrick prior to Newcastle. Maybe that result will snap us back to reality. Maybe it'll be a kick in the ass for a lot of these United players. Who's going to come out on top? Because this is a big 6-pointer right now. Will Carrick have a fit squad to work with? Who are Aston Villa's danger men that could cause us problems? We're going to explore all this, answer these questions today. This is United versus everybody. I am your host, Sean. You guys, welcome back. Please make sure you guys like the video. If you are new, please make sure to subscribe. Let us know where you're watching from. Introduce yourself. I like to see how the community is growing. So let's get stuck in. I will be right back, you guys. We'll see you in a couple seconds. What is going on, everybody? How are you guys doing? It is Friday. I don't know about you guys, but it is crazy weather right now. It sounds like a fucking tornado outside, man. It's like 40-mile-an-hour gust of wind. There's a small chance. Literally, don't be surprised if I lose power because that's just the way it works here in Michigan when you've got DTE. But we'll see how it goes. Let me get involved with the chat, see who's jumping in here. Big up, Dylan's in the house. Dylan, welcome back, buddy. He's doing the Lord's work. You know, he's supposed to be teaching children. And he's like, dude, screw you kids. Watch Planet Earth. I'm going to comment on this video. Dylan says, huge game. It is a huge game. 6-pointer, maybe biggest game of the season for us. This will dictate how the end of the season will go. Play hard with effort. Get a result. Good things will follow. Don't show up. Put forth little effort. Yes. I mean, we've seen both of that from United in the last month or so under Michael Carrick. We've seen the highs. We've seen the lows. Hopefully, hopefully the Newcastle result was just a reminder of, like, need to switch on, need to take every game seriously. We're not in Europe. We're not in domestic cups. We've literally just got a handful of games left. We have to show up. Literally anything but a win is a loss these days. So we need to do that. Make sure. Big up, Dylan. No, Danny's in the house. Big up, Danny. Yes, hit that like button for me, please, people. Subscribe if you are new as well. And like, yeah, exactly. It is probably our biggest game of the season. This could really decide, has the potential to decide. It could be a little bit of a butterfly effect. We'll see. Jarvis in the house. Big up, Jarvis. Eagle-eyed members of the channel, subscribers will have seen my short that I put out yesterday. I was in a Bodo Glimt mood yesterday, and we're all Bodo Glimt fans this season. So I am waving that flag. Tried my hand at Bodo Glimt chant yesterday, so let me know how I did, Jarvis. Big up, bud. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope it's not, I mean, it feels like Norway here today. It's crazy out today. So let's dive in with a little news first, and then we're going to talk this tactics and whatnot. I do have a poll going, as always. You guys can let me know what you think, who's going to come out on top so far. Let me see what we got here. So far, it is an even split between United win, a draw, and a Villa win. So we'll see how it goes. Keep getting those votes in. Let's talk about news first. So I put a poll out yesterday or the day before. I can't remember now off the top of my head. I do a lot of stuff on the channel. But I did want to get your thoughts on I'm always trying to get your guys' input on things. So I put a poll out regarding thoughts on transfers and budget, priorities, whatnot, regarding midfielders. So the poll was for you guys to choose what you preferred. Spending big money on Elliot Anderson, one player, or taking that money and getting both Matheus Fernandes and João Gomez for roughly the same price. Because I do believe you'd probably get them both for roughly the same price as you'd get for Elliot Anderson because relegation, right? Anderson is rumored to cost a pretty penny, but the prices I've seen for Fernandes and Gomez would, again, roughly equal that. All three players very well could be relegated as well by the end of the season. João Gomez almost definitely being relegated. Now, the majority of the voting, there's been like over 50 votes in that poll, overwhelmingly in favor of going for the 2 players instead of the 1 player. And interestingly enough, Alex Crook seems to think that Matheus Fernandes will be leaving West Ham for sure if they're relegated. He claims that United have scouted him. I mean, you could literally say that United have scouted him, and you could be referring to us scouting him when he was at Southampton, for instance. Like, it's true, but technically it's not like current. This is how a lot of these journos and a lot of these pundits will get you. They'll say something that, like, you'll see a title on like Caught Offside. It's like Liverpool linked with player that United have scouted. Well, yeah, if we scouted a Jeremy Jacket like a year ago, then yes, it's technically true. They do that so they can come out later and say player A rejects United in favor of Liverpool move. That's how they get you guys. But who knows? Maybe this is a ploy to put pressure on Kobbie Mainoo to maybe sign a new contract. I don't know. My preferences, my wishes, my targets, they all change. They literally change almost every week. If Dylan and I did the 200 million pound summer spending spree video, my picks might be completely different now than they were 2 weeks ago when we did the video, just because a lot of stuff changes. For instance, Licha and De Ligt still out. That has made me rethink a lot of things as far as the back line is concerned. And Mateus Fernandes to come in and compete with Kobbie for that role wouldn't be the worst thing. I think, you've got two players very similar in the way they play, similar age as well. Could be something here for Jarvis. Big up says, bro, you nailed it with a proper. I mean, I really tried. Thank you. I like it. Norwegian, these guys, if there's letters in there that I've just never seen before, there's sounds in there that I've never even tried to make before. And so what I tried to do the accent. We'll see. But thank you. I appreciate that. It wasn't perfect, but I appreciate it. Danny says, Anderson going to Chidi, give me Fernandes, João Gomez, Caleb Urenki, Mama Sangare. Yeah, I think we definitely need to, and probably going to be looking into the academy. I just don't know who in the academy I would promote, who's going to kind of tick that box. So, but yeah, most of you guys wanted João Gomez and Mateus Fernandes. Honest, and like I said, if you'd asked me to talk about João Gomez again months ago, he wasn't great, and then he's suddenly been very, very good. Like, he was a force recently against Liverpool, just doing everything. And so I don't know if do we want someone as kind of up and down? Is this an upward trajectory? It's very difficult. So you guys let me know what you guys think about that. But majority of you guys are opting for two players instead of one. So who knows? Speaking of midfielders, let me take this off the screen. What do you make of Mateo Moreto's report that Real Madrid are open to selling Eduardo Camavinga this summer? They're open to offers. 45 to 50 million is the price tag I'm seeing for Camavinga. Would you have him at United? Hey, he can play left back too, right? From what we saw. Do you remember when they were shoehorning him in at left back? Dude, Madrid always have injuries, man. They had Valverde at right back. They were rocking Tchouaméni at center back. They had Camavinga at left back. It's been nuts. And you saw what happened as soon as Valverde gets to play his preferred position. He got a hattie against City, and he was an absolute force of nature in that match this week. It was such a good midfielder, man. He's like everything you want in a midfielder. But Camavinga, honestly, and you guys could let me know, it's a no for me on Camavinga. And here's why. You guys know how I feel about injury-prone players. I'm not a fan of injury-prone players, and the guy is just ankle issue after ankle issue after hamstring after hamstring after not for me. Literally not for me. He's already missed about 11 matches this season from toothache. What the hell? When have you ever seen toothache on transfermarket.com? He had missed a lot of games last season, over half the season last season, from hamstring muscle injuries. I'm good. I will sidestep that landmine real quick. Let someone else step on it and blow themselves to shit here. Danny says, I like Gomez before Wolves even signed him. No to Camavinga. Caleb Urenki, yeah. Urenki's good. You guys, spoiler alert, I did have him as one of my picks for my 200 million pound rebuild. I had Anderson, Urenki, and then maybe academy player to come in and rotate in midfield as well. The question is just who? Sekou Kone, one of the Fletchers. Orozco, don't forget we got Orozco coming in the summer. Yeah, I think Urenki is one of those ones that it's too good an opportunity to not go for. It's not expensive. He looks like he ticks a lot. And this is a thing. The big thing with Urenki, for instance, is that we have to start looking at the players that like the Brightons and whatnot are going to be targeting to replace, the Balebas, the Caicedos. Like, go for those players before they go to Brighton, before they go to Brentford, before they go to Dortmund or whatever, and get them now. Because, like, it was the same with Jude Bellingham. We had Jude Bellingham taking tours of Carrington, and we missed out because reasons. But now, and then he went to Dortmund, and Madrid got him for a hefty price tag. Like, we've got to do that before. So, like, if and when we maybe do sell them, we're the ones getting 100 million, not Dortmund, not Brighton. We've got to go for those players. If you read the book Soccernomics, it's way better to spend a little bit on the younger players than to spend a lot on the older players, just from a financial standpoint. And that's not the only way I look at it, but it is a way you can guarantee it's a way that Ineos and whatnot are looking at it. So big up, Steph. Good to see you. We're just talking a little bit of transfer talk right now, getting everyone's thoughts on Eduardo Camavinga. You guys, make sure you like and subscribe, please. If you are new, we are on the road to 4K. Don't forget, too, there's a link posted in the comments, too. It's pinned, but it is 20% off for the next couple days in the United vs. Everybody store. So make sure you guys go check that out. But yeah, I tend to just avoid injury-prone players quickly. It's like it's like house hunting. A lot of people like pools. I don't like pools. If I'm looking at a house and I see it has a pool, especially an in-ground pool, I just move on because it's not something I want to have to take care of and deal with. So it's not worth the risk. I've had my fair share of injury-prone players at United, so it's definitely a no from me on Eduardo Camavinga. If he were still like I liked him before Madrid got him, he was a really good player. Then since it is what it is, but not for me. So you guys let me know your thoughts. Let's talk about this Villa match because it's a big match. It is crazy windy outside. Shit, man. Jeez. Like sideways rain crazy, man. We had snow this morning and stuff. I had to go to the store at like 7 a.m. It was dark and snowy. It was nuts. Villa. Let's talk about Aston Villa. They've had a weird season, Aston Villa. Started off poor, picked up a run of form to sneak into that top 4 spot. Then they've kind of been poor again, right? 1 win in their last 5 in all competitions. Maybe it could be up to 2 now because I might not have updated this since the Europa League match, but 3 losses, a draw, 3 goals scored in that time, 10 goals conceded, knocked out of the FA Cup by Newcastle. They did lose 2-0 to Wolves as well, and that's just the past month for them. And yet, somehow they're in 4th, level on points with United, who have also not been great, right? I told you guys, any Arsenal fan who wants to tell you that this is not a shit season for the Premier League, A, they're Arsenal fans, so why are you talking to them in the first place? But B, just tell them to fuck off because the cognitive dissonance, the bullshit from the Arsenal fans, no, it's a good league. That's not fair. You're not giving us respect. The fact that Arsenal fans are always trying to fight for respect, try to get their flowers, shows you that there is no equality there, that they are not at the big kids table. If you have to fight for something like that, then you don't have it. So that's just the way it is. But it is a shit season. Look how shit Villa are. Look how shit United are. Look how shit Liverpool have been, even Chelsea. And we're all still opting for that top. It's not great. And then if you even want to deep it, look back on just what English clubs did in Europe this past week. Big blow for English quality right now. Now, just because they're not great, they are more physical, as we saw from Newcastle and whatnot. But still, that tactic, that characteristic will help you like it did last year. But just like De Zerbi or Ange, after that first year, you've got to reinvent yourself a little bit. It's not enough to just be physical anymore. So now we're starting to see things kind of regress to the mean a little bit. But Villa have the second fewest goals scored in the top 10 right now in the Premier League. They are 13th in the table when it comes to XG. Of course, United, just the 1 loss recently against Newcastle. That we haven't lost before that since before Boxing Day, and we started that unbeaten run against Newcastle at Old Trafford on Boxing Day. Dylan and I were there for that. That's in the league, though. Obviously, we knocked out of the FA Cup by Brighton, first time of asking. Loads of draws until Michael Carrick showed up, but that initial bounce we got under Carras has started to fade. Obviously, performances were dipping. We were getting a little lucky. A lot of late goals, a lot of late equalizers, a lot of luck. And then luck ran out. Right, it just did. Newcastle bullied us. We just weren't up for it, and they punished us, and that's going to happen. Still, we have the 4th most goals per 90. We have the most shots on target. We're just struggling to keep clean sheets as well. But it is just this match against Villa, and then away to Bournemouth before the next international break. So nearly a month almost of like, it's like 3 weeks of no matches. Like, we have to do better. We have to like get maximum points from these next two matches starting on Sunday. Villa are going to line up in a 4-2-3-1, but they will switch to a 4-4-2 when they're off the ball. As you can see here, this two banks of four, and that's popular. I know a lot of people are like, we need to play a 4-4-2. We need to like, it's all dependent on game state. It's all dependent on if you're on the ball, if you're off the ball. Like, you build up. Most teams will build up in a back three, or they'll sit in a 4-4-2 off the ball. It's just the way teams play. The shape is going to change. They like to press from the front, though. Two banks of four, again, is that's what those 4-4-2 is going to do for them, is going to reduce the space between the lines. Their hope is to win that ball in opportune moments, heavy touches, and then they're going to want to break very, very quickly. You can see here, they're going to win this ball, and then boom, someone is literally on their bike trying to get on the end of something. This was a ball against us earlier. Win the ball, Watkins is on his bike, and Rodgers is going to try to feed him in there. And this is the way they're going to try to play. But it's not like they just play long balls. They're actually the fourth worst in the league for accurate long balls. But again, it's these little mid-range passes that draw after they draw you in that can kill you. They do it again right here. McGinn does the same exact thing. Like, it's not a long ball. They just win that ball, and the trigger for these runs from guys like Watkins as Rodgers is, but that can kill you. As you can see, it killed us last time out. We lost that one. They have a lot of trust in guys like Morgan Rodgers, who are just good at making the runs, good at carrying the ball, making something happen. He is their top scorer this season, Morgan Rodgers. And he likes to operate in an area, that, there it is. He operates in an area where we tend to struggle off the ball. Like, he's kind of in these little channels, in these half spaces in between our defenders and our midfield. But again, this was under Ruben Amorim, and so we are very, very different. We do shut down the space a little better under Michael Carrick. We do make ourselves more compact. I don't think he's going to have a lot of room to work with. The issue is going to be our fullbacks, because Dallo is not great. They are well organized in defense, Villa. They shut down space efficiently. They're typically on the same page too when it comes to holding the line. They're very, very good at that. They don't concede a lot of counterattacking goals. Like, no counterattacking goals in like December and January, I think, was the stat I found. And they defend very well, especially against those transitions. Like I said, you put up the average position, you can see they don't commit a lot of bodies forward. So there's not going to be a ton of room for counterattacks. They keep those defenders pretty well disciplined back there. That's just the way they roll. Again, they don't play a ton of long balls. They do want to play out from the back. You can see this percentage. They're above average right now for defending quick and then going on the break with transitions as well. So that's just the way they want to do things. But the issue where you can do it, though, again, playing out from the back, is that's where they can be a little vulnerable, is that no matter who they're playing, no matter who's on the, like, who they have fit in defense, no matter how much they're being pressed, they will try to play out from the back no matter what. You guys remember how we used to do things under Ten Hag or Amorim? Like, I don't care if Maguire's on the ball, we're going to slow play out from the back, and it causes problems. That Villa can be guilty of that. So they can be vulnerable. You want to press, but you don't want to overcommit. You want to press wisely. You want to press like in sync with your teammates, and make sure that you're not getting drawn in, because that's also how they want to do. They want to draw you in so they can play over it, kind of like the way De Zerbi used to do it at Brighton. And so we just want to find that there's a fine line there between pressing, because they do struggle to play out from the back sometimes, but also not overcommitting, because that's also where they can get you. We got to find that sweet spot. So you guys still with me? Good. Guys, hit that like button for me. Where's this poll at so far? So far, we got 6 votes. 67 of you are going for United win. Big up. Keep voting, you guys. So, Villa, dealing with a multitude of injuries to a lot of key players. They've gotten a couple back fit, but they're still missing a lot of their best players. Kamara out. Tielemans out. Matty Cash probably out. And he's a big miss for them. He gets up and down. He holds the width. He can be a danger man. So he's out as well. Sancho can't play because he's on loan. Wouldn't have worried about him anyway, to be honest with you. McGinn is looking like he's back fit. He did get a late cameo against Lille yesterday. So we'll see if he starts. If he starts, if he's fit, could be a problem for us because he brings energy, he brings fight, he brings everything in midfield that we do not at the moment. Mobility, energy, fight, work rate. We don't have that. We're going to struggle. Against Lille, they started pretty much all their best players. They didn't make any subs until late on. So maybe Emery kind of stretched his squad a little thin. We will see. But they do have players that can punish you. Like I said, Morgan Rogers, a danger man for them. Leon Bailey, his speed can be an issue for us. Douglas Luiz, Amadou Onana, again, very, very physical midfield as well. So we need to watch. We just don't tend to match the physicality very well. So we'll see. Tammy Abraham, something a little different in the attack as well. They've got pace in Watkins. They've got a poacher profile in Abraham who holds up the ball, gets on the end of stuff. So they've got different strings to their bow now. Watkins did just score the winner against Lille as well. And again, he has the pace, he has the experience, he has the positioning, the movement to punish us. That's how they got us last time. You guys remember, he was constantly making these runs. Like, he doesn't score a lot of goals, but again, what have I said about strikers and their movement? Part of movement is it's not just making runs to get on the end of something. It's not just finding space in the box. Some of this is movement to pull defenders to create space for your other attacking teammates. And Watkins does that very, very well. He did that against us last time out. So we need to keep an eye out for that. We cannot get suckered into that stuff. Big up, Sanjay. Welcome, bud. Hope you're doing well. This is going to be another test of Michael Carrick's tactical flexibility. Again, we already talked about just now how compact Villa are at the back, how well they defend against transitions. Michael Carrick cannot just go into this with Mbeumo as a 9 kind of lineup, hoping that we'll just have the quality to outdo it. Like, he's got to show a little bit more opposition analysis, a little bit more problem-solving kind of creativity there. Otherwise, we're going to see the same thing like we saw in these last couple matches. We have to resist the temptation to go and chase the ball, because that's what Villa want. Yes, we're at home, right? But we cannot play into their hands. We cannot make it easy for them. We cannot play their game by getting a little too overzealous and just listening to the crowd bay us into pressing the ball. Like, let them be the ones to step out of their comfort zone, and then we can punish them for that. They want us to do that. They don't play a lot of long balls. They want you to get sucked into the press so they can just play those mid-range balls over the top of you. So we need to do very, very well. Keep an eye out for that. We need to be switched on at the back. McGinn is just going to put a ball into space, and that doesn't take, and he doesn't even take eye contact. You don't even have to be facing the same direction. That's how they're going to kill you. It's not like he's a pinpoint passer. He's just putting the ball in the space, and that's all they need to do. Carrick's going to need to get the players to move the ball quickly, stay switched on from the whistle, switched on from the moment they arrive at Old Trafford, switched on from the moment they wake up on Sunday, because we cannot afford a repeat of what happened last time. I've said it many times. The race for a Champions League spot is tight right now. Anything but a win can be considered a loss. It is what it is. How would I line up against this one? Well, this is how I'm going to line up, guys. Get your starting 11s in. I want to know what you guys think here. Somebody says, Mazraoui needs to keep close tabs on Rodgers. Perhaps a man-marking role needed. Well, I don't know if Leach is going to be fit. It doesn't sound like it, so you can ignore Leach. I'm probably going to put Yoro in there. But, yeah, we'll see who's fit. Mazraoui looks like he's fine. Dallo will probably start because Dallo always seems to start. Shaw, we'll see what happens with Shaw. I wouldn't be surprised to see Shaw playing center back as well, maybe just for his ability on the ball. But let me know your starting 11s for this one. I don't know if this is the game for Mbeumo personally. He doesn't have a big impact when he's playing against these types of compact defenses. There's just not space for him to work with, and he's constantly having to drop deep. He's giving away stupid fouls because he's getting frustrated. But again, if we can nick a goal or two, Villa could be forced to take more risks, commit bodies forward, open up a little bit, and that's when you bring on Mbeumo to come at them with pace, keep them pinned back, stretch their back line a little bit, create some space for us. This is how you kind of use your team selection and your subs tactically. Šeško, again, I like him to win those long balls from Lamens. If we can aim for him and not aim for Cunha, that would be great. But again, that's a Carrick thing. I like Cunha. I like Ahmad. I think they're better in those tighter spaces, in the half spaces, and under pressure too. So again, I'm starting them. And again, it doesn't mean I think Mbeumo's bad. It's just, again, you've got to sometimes look at the opposition. You can't just go in every match saying, well, I'm going to play my way and it's going to work. Like, sometimes you do have to make some adjustments based on how the opposition is going to play. And we've seen that recently. And Bumo has been completely nullified in some of these games. We'll see if Mazraoui starts. He was forced off against Newcastle, which somehow wasn't even deemed a foul, by the way, ridiculous. He was seen limping, but then he was back in training this week, so it doesn't look like it was too serious. Latest reports indicate he will be fit. Shaw was also taken off, so who knows? No word on Licha, Delit, Mount, or anything. Dorgu. Nathan Salt seems to think that Delit's not going to be back this season at all. There was a certain journalist who we won't talk about who claimed this week that Licha and Mount didn't even train. Now, Carrick did come out and say that Mount did train. Mount could be fit for Sunday, but he wasn't. He said we'll see, but he's back in training, so Mount could be a player to come off the bench. Who knows? We do miss Licha's quality, especially in that first phase, building out from the back. But in my head, I'm almost moving on from Licha at this point. I'm almost getting to the point of moving on from Delit. Now, Delit gets a little bit of a pass simply because his back injury is just weird. It just came out of nowhere, and it's not like he's had this issue in the past. Licha, and I don't blame him for those injuries because they're just contact injuries or contact injuries. You can't do anything about that. The ACL probably a result of not playing for so long. This calf injury, though, again, and it's not his fault. No player goes out and says, I want to get injured. I'm happy to be injured. These players want to play. But again, the fact remains is that if this is a result of missing so many matches, this is a result of an ACL or whatever, then that's just where we are. It's time to maybe think about moving on. Both he and Delit, again, do we need center backs in the summer? I mean, what happens with Maguire's contract? We're probably going to end up having to give Maguire a contract just to compensate for the fact that these other two center backs cannot stay fit. So we'll see. If you want to know what I might do, go check out that 200 million pound replacement video. Heck, we can go get Senesi on a free now. He's 28, come in, Premier League, proven like people like. Get him out of free to take over for Licha and just figure out later. Senesi in heaven on the left, Yoro and Maguire on the right for another year. Fine. I would still go get Van Hecke. He's entering the final year of his contract. I think you could get another 6-7 years out of him, and it's awesome. Sometimes it's time to move on, man. 70's got her 11 up here. It says Lamans, Mazraoui, Maguire, Heaven, Shaw. Yeah, I probably should have put Heaven up there. I completely forgot that I had Licha on there. Casemiro, Menu, Bruno, Ahmad, Shesko, Cunha. Yeah, pretty much the same front. 70 chose Heaven for his distribution. Yeah, he is another ball-playing center back, which you need to have a little bit of a variety. You need to have some of the physical guys who are good in the air, but you also want these guys like Licha who are just comfortable on the ball, who can maybe play those line-breaking passes and kind of so Bruno doesn't have to drop deep, so everyone doesn't have to drop deep all the time. You've got someone who can just initiate that first phase of play. But we've been missing Licha's ability on the ball, man, like crazy. Danny says, yes, we need at least one fullback and a center back, versatile center back. Well, if you want to know who I might pick, I did just this past week do my 5 left backs and then 5 right backs that I think United should go look at. One right back is also a center back playing right back this season, very similar to what Timber's doing at Arsenal, what Jules Koundé is doing at Barcelona. So go check those out if you guys haven't yet. Let me know your thoughts and who your picks would be in the comments of those videos. But yeah, having someone who can play multiple positions is not the worst thing. Someone who can play left back and right back would be ideal. Dorgu can do that. Mazraoui can do that. Technically, Dallo can do that, but I just want to sell Dallo. I don't think he's very good. Jarvis says, I would try to get rid of Maguire, Delit, and Martinez if possible. Yeah, that's a bit too much to bite off in one window when we have other priorities too. There are options out there. Like I said, Marco Senesi at Bournemouth will be available on a free. I have read that Juventus have put in an offer to him, so we'll see. Van Hecke, like I said, is another one I really like as well. Probably would cost 35 million-ish this summer. I think Spurs were putting in like a 40 million bid January, so another 6 months goes by, a final year of his contract. Brighton can't do anything. Like, I think they'd rather have him get something for him than nothing. But so I would take Van Hecke personally. Channel said, that would be fantastic. Don't believe Bodo Glimt would be happy. We need to merge with Bodo Glimt. We could develop like a little relationship with Bodo, like we used to have with Antwerp and stuff. That would be pretty cool. Maybe flip-flop some players. They have a couple players I would definitely take from Bodo. I would love Patrick Berg. I think he'd be excellent deep line playmaker as well. You guys know how I feel about Jens Peter Hauge as well. I think he's an excellent player. Tried his hand in other leagues. I think he was at AC Milan, Frankfurt as well. Ended up going back to Bodo. So who knows? But the way Bodo do things, man, at that club, the culture, the city, everything, like those are the kind of clubs that I have a soft spot for. Like I've got a soft spot for Bilbao, a soft spot for Ajax in some regards as well. Like I've got a soft spot for those clubs because there's an aspect of football and development and culture building in a club, in a dressing room, that goes unnoticed because they're not really measurable. Like how do you measure, like in a dressing room, like morale? How do you measure like unity? You can't, right? But it's one of those things, like it's like art. Like you can tell when you see it. You're like, yeah, there's something special there. It's not quantifiable in anything other than like results, right? And performance and camaraderie. Like that's where you see it. So I've got utmost respect for those guys. If you guys haven't seen my short from yesterday, go for it. I've tried to learn some Norwegian about the respect I have for Bodo. If they get to a final, if they get to the Champions League final, I'm getting a Bodo shirt. Problem is they're all like sold out and they're expensive too. It was like 130 on Bodo's website for like a home shirt. I'm like, shit, man. I can't find them anywhere else though. Nobody else has them, so it's been hard. So yeah, like Celtic, Ajax. Yeah, I've got to saw the way Ajax develop players and they instill that whole framework and the culture and the performance kind of mentality from a young age. Like I love that Ajax challenge their youngsters to ask questions, like to question things, to because it leads to critical thinking, it leads to problem solving in the moment, and that's how they used to create so many players who just seemed like they were steps ahead of everybody because they developed that in them from a very young age. Bilbao. If you guys ever want to learn more about Bilbao, there's a book behind me by Ben Littleton called Edge. Go check out that book. There's a whole chapter in there on Athletic Bilbao and why they only target local players, why they don't sign other players. They only sign players from that region. It's awesome. Love it. Yeah, Berg was a few years younger. I think he could definitely come in and kind of take over in that. Like, remember Christian Eriksen was like, what was he, 28 when we signed him on a free? And he wasn't going to play every single match, but like when you were going to have a lot of the ball and you needed someone maybe just to kind of move horizontally and kind of sweep up, be a little bit of a Busquets, but also maybe be a little bit of a playmaker. Like I think Patrick Berg can do that against certain opposition. I think what he does on the ball and his leadership and just his vision and his footballing IQ, I think that is invaluable. I think that we need that. We don't have anybody else who can do that aside from maybe like Bruno, but I think Bruno's not naturally doing that in a deeper role. And I think Patrick Berg could come in and be that rotation option for 3 or 4 years. Let's see. Stephanie's out. Big up, Steph. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, guys. Jarvis says, Berg will only get better. His dad, uncle, and grandpa all retired from professional football, almost 40. Nice. So that Norwegian bloodline, man. We got the Northern Lights coursing through their veins. So what about United Fitness? So, Lacey could be back too. Don't forget about that. So starting 11s, that was kind of my 11. Probably going to throw Heaven in there. You're probably going to see Euro in there. I do worry about Euro. Euro's not great at getting pulled into wider areas and having to defend those channels. And I don't trust, because he's going to have to if he plays like on the right-hand side, for instance, because Dallo just always seems to want to get forward no matter what. Doesn't track back. And even if Dallo were tracking back or was trying to defend, he oftentimes just doesn't make the right decision. If he even does make a decision, more often than not, he's just frozen there. And Euro has to compensate for that. But again, Euro's not the best at getting pulled into those wide positions. How many times do we see that under Amorim? So it is difficult. We need right backs. But I want to know your score predictions, you guys. What do you guys have? 67% of you are calling for a United win. 11% think it's going to be a draw. 22% think Villa are going to win. I wonder how many of you are trying to do the old reverse psychology by hitting up a Villa win, trying to think that you're going to appeal to the football gods and maybe get something out of nothing. But let me know your score prediction. I'm going to get a drink. Oh, I meant to make coffee before. I need no more coffee. I did not sleep well last night. I don't tend to sleep well when it's hot, and I forgot to turn the heat down last night when I went to sleep, so it was crazy hot. And once I wake up, it's hard for me to go back to sleep. So I've been running the game since like 4 a.m. this morning. I'm exhausted. Danny's going 2-all. So Villa don't score a lot of goals. We score at least 1 goal a game. I'm going 2-1 United. That's going to be my pick. It feels a little bit like Villa's injuries are catching up because a lot of the players that they had against us last time are not fit. McGinn maybe, but he's not 100% for sure. And again, it was Amorim in charge. It was Amorim's system. It was Amorim's shape last time. So it's completely different now. I don't think we're going to be as open. We've seen, again, against like City and whatnot, if they get the ball in wide positions, Carrick has that shape to shut it down. Like, I'll put it on the screen real quick. I still have it somewhere up here. Hold up. Yeah, like Carrick's shape is pretty straightforward. Like, he's definitely just like it's there's not space to work with. I mean, and then you guys remember, like, if they put that ball on the wide, like, we immediately go and shut it down. But then again, there's also this factor that these United players haven't been great recently, right? When we have, like, it's hard to pin it down. When we had too much time between matches, we looked like we were lazy. When there was a quick turnaround this past week, we looked like we weren't prepared for that. So, like, the fitness is just not there right now, and the mentality is not there, and we've got to find that sweet spot. These players can't get up for the final 8 or so matches of the season, like especially a big 6-pointer like this at home, like then maybe a few more need to be thrown in that bomb squad, like that Dylan and I talked about the other day. Go check out that video if you guys haven't yet. Dylan and I went through our bomb squad, deciding who needs to go and who needs to stay, but it was pretty ruthless. Danny does not have a good feeling about this. To be honest, a draw being a positive. We have to get 3 points. We just have to. We just have to. Danny does not trust certain players. Yeah. You and me both, man. Dallo needs to just fuck off, dude. Seriously. But again, this is a big 6-pointer for both clubs on Sunday. Chelsea play Newcastle. Liverpool play Spurs. Liverpool, that's probably 3 points for Liverpool because Spurs are just fuck. Remember last year when I did my poaching relegated players video, and we did that pretty early on, right, in the season. I didn't have to wait that long. This year, this could go down to the final day of the season. We Forest, Spurs, Leeds could still go down. We've got Burnley, we've got Wolves, West Ham. Like, there are 6 clubs who could very easily get relegated. So, and they're the only club I can't really think of a whole lot of players I would take is Burnley. Like, everybody, Leeds, I can't really think of a whole lot of players at Leeds that I would take either. But Spurs have like 1 or 2. If you want to know one of whom I take, go watch my right back video because there's one player for sure I featured in that video. But of those matches, like Chelsea, Newcastle, Liverpool, Spurs, you'd probably think Liverpool again are picking up points. Liverpool are just 3 points off of us. Like I said, anything but a win right now is a loss. It is very, very tight right now between these 4 clubs, as you can see. Liverpool still have to play us in May. They've got to play Chelsea. They got to play Villa as well. So that's a big one for them. Chelsea still have to play Liverpool again. They got to play Spurs again. So that could be fun. And Chelsea get Man City after the international break as well. So that could be fun. Villa, they get to end the season playing Liverpool and City, so we will see how that goes as well. They've got a relatively straightforward run. They get to play West Ham and then Forest after this, Sunderland, Fulham. So a healthy mix, I think, of bottom and top half of the table teams in there. There are a couple of potential banana skins in there for us as well, but we'll see. It is very, very tight right now. A win could put us 6 points ahead of Chelsea and Liverpool. Lose, though, and we could very easily drop down to 6 points. Like, it's still very, very tight right there. I worry too, again, like I said, is there too much time between fixtures? There's a lot. Michael Carrick's made a lot of changes as well to training. I don't know if you guys have seen some of this. I read an article recently on someone I saw on LinkedIn talking about how some of the changes that Carrick has made could actually be hurting the fitness and the mentality of the players. So, like, he's shortened training. So he's made it a little bit more tense, but he's shortened the training time. So you're not there as long. He's delayed the arrival, so players arriving to Old Trafford, even arriving for away matches, now you can arrive 15 minutes later, so it's a little bit less. He's introduced it, having everybody gets a day off after a match as well. That was something that was new. So there are question marks. There is some correlation there between poor performances and those sort of changes. So, but it remains to be seen, because we've also seen the same shit from these players over and over again this time of year. So, but again, every point right now is absolutely vital, like 100% vital. These players need to understand that. As always, play like you mean it. We are at home, so you'd think that's going to help. I want the Stretford end to be singing. I don't even want to be able to hear the commentators. I want the Stretford end to be loud. I want everybody in that stadium who's a United fan to go home not being able to speak, because we need these players to wake up. We need the Aston Villa players to feel it as well. What are you guys saying here? Get you guys last minute thoughts in, your last minute score predictions, your last minute starting 11s. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. 70% are going with a United win, 20% going for a Villa win, 10% going for a draw. I'm going to end it there on the poll. While you're liking, while you're subscribing, please check out the link in the pinned comment for 20% off at the United vs. Everybody store. Tons of designs in there, including the OG green and gold t-shirt, rocking support for the channel. They got mugs too, like my Fergie time mug, the finest results mug. All sorts of stuff in there. And please go hype a couple of videos on your phones if you guys have a second afterwards. And then always check the video description. There's tons of exclusives in there that you'll find links in there for, like my interview with James Featherstone, football agent, my Casemiro replacement video. All that stuff is in there. Go check all that out, you guys. But if you weren't able to catch the live, make sure you leave your thoughts, your comments, your 11s, your score predictions as well. But as always, like and subscribe. Jarvis, let us know if you're going to be doing anything later on today. Oh, you guys know who I ran into last night. I was just chilling, getting ready to go to bed, jumping on phone for a second. And you guys remember Rasta Stocks used to be jumping in the chat. He's got his own channel. I jumped on his channel last night while he was live with some other channels. Big shout out Rasta Stocks, man, doing his thing out there too. So if you get a second, go check out Rasta Stocks channel as well. I think you just search Rasta Stocks in YouTube and it's probably going to pop up, but shouldn't be hard to find. So, but big up everyone. Go check out Jarvis's channel too. I'm not sure if he's doing a preview or anything later on today. Usually Jarvis will go live, like 4 or 5 or so. Do not know. But until then, you guys enjoy your Friday. I will see you guys on the next one, hopefully talking about 3 points Sunday afternoon. Probably come back a couple hours after the final whistle Sunday to do a player rating show. So be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Jarvis haven't checked with Stu yet. The plan is to do the preview tonight. Well, big up, you guys. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell for Tactical Devils so you don't miss out. But until then, take it easy. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I will see you guys on the next one.